For effective search and rescue within the jurisdiction of search and rescue, the search and rescue area, there is a lot of training that is undertaken to make sure that the people undertaking the search and rescue service are well trained, they are professionals, they have their skills, top-notch skills at the cutting edge, so that they can be able to respond to any incident within the shortest time possible. Therefore, what training do they undertake and where do they take this training? The search and rescue training is undertaken within the country and outside the country. The search mission coordinators, these are experienced people in the field of aviation, and the mission coordinators will, after their initial training in various areas, take a specialized training in search and rescue. The initial training could be, and most of them are air traffic controllers, experienced air traffic controllers with a number of years of operations, and pilots who come from various agencies, and also other people who are involved in disaster response and have some experience. Then with their field and experience in that field, then they go for specialized training in search and rescue. This training is conducted at East African School of Aviation, which is in Nairobi, and is at one of the directorates of Kenya Civil Aviation Authority, responsible for training, and it conducts this training on behalf of the authority, and the student range are from various countries and various organizations for search and rescue. There are various specialized training in search and rescue. One is the search mission coordinators training. This is a training that provides the trainees with skills on search and rescue mission coordination. Then there is search and rescue operations. This also provides the trainees with a lot of skills in the search and rescue area. And finally, the search and rescue administration. These three courses make the professionals in search and rescue, and there are various other short areas for training or specialized areas of training that would also help the mission coordinators and the search and rescue practitioners undertake their responsibilities. From the agencies, they have their own training on how they execute, if they're doing aerial search, and also some of the other activities on the rescue. And our Major Muoki will probably enlighten us on the kind of training they undertake in preparation for their responsibility.
Yes. KCAA as an entity has been providing opportunities to the various agencies to come in for training for search and rescue in various levels. The basic search and rescue course, which is being run at East Africa School of Aviation, and a search mission coordinators course, which I'm a beneficiary of. So that or those kind of training have really helped the agencies mandated with responding to search and rescue mission to build capacity of personnel to be able to effectively and efficiently conduct search and rescue mission. Apart from that, the Kenya Defence Forces has a tradition of training for search and rescue. From the nature of our job as KDF, we also do training in combat search and rescue. That is purely military, but the basics are the same. The only difference is that combat search and rescue is done in a hostile environment, whereas the aeronautical search and rescue is done in a non-hostile environment. But what it does, it equips you with the basics of conducting search and rescue, which helps in both ways. We also have capabilities in the aircraft that act as a multiplier or brings multiplier effect when conducting search and rescue. Our aircraft have mission equipment like hoist that is capable of hoisting an individual from an area that you cannot maybe land with an helicopter, for example. We also have aircraft equipped with sensors for the purposes of locating downed or aircrafts which have crashed. As many other organizations in the world, we also have unmanned aircrafts, which also help in the search and rescue of any aeronautical or any vessel that has had distress.
Very well. And once, as a whole system, once we have these skills, it's good to ensure that the skills are applied in a uniform and nice way so that the system is seamless. Therefore, once we have had the initial or specialized training and people coming from different backgrounds, military, civil, they have the skills and they are part of the system in Kenya, then we do joint sessions whereby we are able now to understand the service from the same perspective. For example, what we have done, or KCAA has done, is to make sure that we can have a joint session in doing the on-job training together at the Rescue Coordination Center. The KCAA invites personnel trained from other agencies to join the KCAA team and undertake a joint training at the Rescue Coordination Center to make sure that everyone is on the same page and we all understand the way the system from various perspectives operates. So that is another form of training. And also, through the various meetings, the workshops that we hold, it also enhances that form of exchange of skills and information and knowledge so that we are also seeing we are able to collaborate seamlessly. Again, we have the exercises that further enhance the skills in search and rescue between the various agencies and also are able to establish the gaps that may exist in the system, search and rescue system. So there is a lot of activities, joint activities undertaken by the whole system of search and rescue the way it's established so that we are able to operate in a seamless way and make sure that the system is efficient. KCAA continues to invest in search and rescue by equipping the Rescue Coordination Center and by enhancing the technologies, the tools, and even the skills of personnel at the Rescue Coordination Center to make sure that this service is improved on, a continual improvement of the service and in terms of the efficiency and in terms of capability. A case in point, we have moved from a manual search and rescue system to a digital search and rescue system. And this is where you are able to utilize various softwares to plan for search and rescue, to get notifications, and even to track aircraft. And this has significantly improved how search and rescue is undertaken. That is at the national level. At the international level, there is a lot of activity towards improving search and rescue, and there is the introduction of the Global Aeronautical Distress Safety System. In response to what happened to the Malaysian aircraft, the International Civil Aviation Organization and IATA, they found it is necessary that there should be no aircraft that is lost without a trace. Therefore, they have enhanced, and they are through a lot of research, the way search and rescue will be conducted, and even the equipage of aircraft, such that we will have autonomous distress safety systems, whereby an aircraft that has any problem will automatically report without human intervention and continuously report. Currently, what we have is that the beacons that notify when there is a problem are activated on impact. Maybe an aircraft has crashed, then it activates. But moving forward, and with the help of technology, these beacons will be able to activate when the aircraft is in flight, further improving the aspect of early notification that an aircraft could be having a problem, and continuous tracking until the end of flight. End of flight is where the flight will come to an end, maybe on land or water, so that the search area is significantly reduced. And when search area is significantly reduced, you are able to locate very fast, and also the rescue services can be able to be undertaken very fast, further improving chances of survival in an incident. Again, the early notification that a distress is in progress when the aircraft is still in flight will further help in alerting those agencies that are supposed to respond to an incident in good time. So by the time the incident now happens, those agencies will be already prepared and being updated continuously on what is happening, and that improves the chances that a rescue will be undertaken. Further, that is important, but also the resources. Search and rescue is a very heavy resource consumer. You can imagine if you are going to use several aircraft airborne searching for an aircraft that has had a distress, a lot of resources are spent, a lot of personnel. This future development that is almost, we are almost headed there, will help so that we are able to pinpoint. And the aspect of search, it is actually removing search from search and rescue, because you'll be able to almost instantaneously locate where an incident has happened. At the international level again, there is a service where if an aircraft has had an incident or a crash, that the beacons we talked about, the emergency locator transmitter, will have a return link service. The return link service is going to provide a response where the agencies that have been notified can be able to tell the people on the other side, the people in an aircraft that has had an incident, yes, your incident has been noted and it is being attended to. It is very important in the psychological perspective that when you are in distress, you know that something is being done to help you. This is not happening currently, but that is where we are headed in the future, which is a very, very important, the psychological aspect and hope. It provides hope to the victims that help is on the way, and that could even help in survival. Hope is very, very important in those hopeless situations. At the national level, KCAA keeps investing further into the Rescue Coordination Center and in enhancing the whole system. And there is a lot of reorganization to see what other systems are useful in search and rescue, including the possibility of establishing a mission control center. which is an ongoing process, so that we are able to get the notifications from Setrite almost instantaneously and can be utilized to make sure that the time and even the efficiency of the system is further improved. Again, there is a lot of improvement in skills through enhanced training in this area, so that at our state level, we are as good as any professionals you may find anywhere in the world. And even in this region, where we are doing way, way, way better than most in terms of our capacity and capabilities, there is no stopping, because any investment in this area of search and rescue is a worthwhile investment, because it goes towards enhancing the capacity to save lives, and it's a worthwhile thing. Therefore, even as a country, we are making a lot of progress, and also consideration of further seeing whether KCAA or rather search and rescue would further be reorganized in a way where the services are further brought together in search and rescue, and we probably have like search and rescue organization with the capacity and capability of having some basic assets, and also working from same working, enhancing or bringing together various professionals in the search and rescue room, because search and rescue is wide. We have aeronautical, we have maritime, we have urban, we have mountain search and rescue, doing almost the same thing, trying to save life. So if these organizations are working together, that probably will enhance the capacity and capability, and also reduce the kind of resource base where we have duplicated a lot of those resources. So there is a lot of activity and into the future towards improving this service.
To add on what Mr. Wagura said, the future of search and rescue is technology-based, and the future looks bright, because we've had cases whereby an aircraft crashes, but the ELT does not trigger. But with recent advancement in technology, we are getting gadgets installed in aircraft, which are not autonomous, in the sense that, for example, when an aircraft diverts from its predetermined or the filed flight plan, the ELT is able to send a signal to the MCC, which in turn sends that signal to the appropriate rescue coordination center. So in that case, the aircraft or the ELT doesn't have to be triggered by an impact. So if an aircraft deviates from its flight plan or experiences G's, that is gravitational forces, beyond its limitation or certain value, then the ELT will send a signal that that aircraft needs to be checked. There's something wrong with that aircraft. So that is a very important advancement, because it will also cover other areas apart from aircraft crashes, like illegal or unlawful interference with the operation of civil aircraft, that is hijacking, or such kind of actions, illegal actions in future. So that is a very important advancement. Apart from that, modern aircrafts are installed with autonomous gadgets. An example is automatic dependent surveillance broadcasts. It's a gadget that is installed in most modern aircrafts, and it's able to continuously send the location, the flight level, and many other details about that specific aircraft. And that will aid in search and rescue in case that aircraft, in the unlikely scenario, is involved in a crash or is in distress, because it will be easier to determine the last known position of that specific aircraft. So all the advancements that are being done at international level will help in conducting search and rescue in the unlikely event that a crash will happen within at the shortest time possible. At the national level, the coordination is very key, and it has been enhanced by involvement of various state and non-state actors in search and rescue. And the picture is getting clearer and clearer more to the various players in search and rescue. In future, maybe, because that is probably what is being done in other countries, we might, or we will be able to establish a joint search and rescue center where all players are called in to play the various roles when an incident occurs. And that will make the coordination even easier. So the future is very bright for search and rescue, and we can only expect better.
Very true. And also the investment by the country in ensuring that, for example, our whole airspace is radar covered, which is now radar covered. Improvement in radar technology is also very, very important, because that ensures that all aircraft operating all in our airspace are tracked and are at all times able to be visible to the air traffic control system. It is also very, very important, so that at any one time when an incident happens, there is a quicker ability to notify or to know that this has happened, and we are able to respond very, very fast. So it is in various realms that this technology is helping, so that we are all growing as a system, from aircraft equipage to the ground system equipage to the responding agencies' capacity and improvement, and also enhancement of scales. All those together help improve that efficiency, which is very, very important, because when an incident happens, it is about the efficiency at which you are able to reach the victims and how fast you are able to get there that helps. Because in most cases, in a number of cases, I will not say in most cases, people have been injured, and probably because they require quicker and faster attention to maybe probably stop them from breathing if they have had some, injuries, or they are in very hostile conditions at very high altitudes where it's very cold. That initial response within a short time is what will help save lives, and also moving them to a place of safety. So to the future, there is it's very bright. A lot of investment, heavy investment by the state, and at international level, a lot of research. So this is an area being given a lot of attention, and it's good for any response, and even for any society. The capacity to respond to people in distress is a very, very, very important capacity, and it defines our growth. For the service to be seamless and to be at its best, efficient and effective, then we need every player in this search and rescue to conduct their part effectively. We need effective cooperation, effective collaboration, and effective coordination. Therefore, everybody, every actor must play their role very, very well. For example, from the people who operate aircraft, the operators, they have a role, they have their role to ensure that these emergency beacons are serviced, they are good, the servicing, they are installed properly, and that they are properly registered, which is very, very key. Then at the public level, or anybody who becomes aware of any incident, that they are able to do the right thing. They are able to notify the Rescue Coordination Center or any other agency like the National Police Service, the air traffic control system through the airports, and they are able to notify of this incident. Most importantly, to the Rescue Coordination Center that has several means so you can notify, and there is even a toll-free line. You could just call that line and make the report to the Rescue Coordination Center. Everyone within the system is expected to conduct themselves in a certain way that is important. For example, the prayers, once they are requested to attend, be they private people, to attend to an incident, they are able to respond very fast and even volunteer their assets and resources to save lives, because it's a collective responsibility. When we say it's a state's responsibility, the state includes even those private actors. They are able to volunteer their assets and resources and their time and their skills because it is for an important cause of saving lives. For example, for the public, the general public, needs to understand their responsibility and role in the event or in the unlikely event that there is an aircraft accident. And the first important thing is that they are able to notify the Rescue Coordination Center or responsible authorities. These responsible authorities including the police, because the police are established everywhere, the provincial administration, the chiefs around the area, all the air traffic control services. And also very, very important is that even as they try to assist, because they could be the first one on site, the moment the professionals who have been trained on how to handle that kind of a situation alive, that they are obedient to the professionals, they will obey the orders that they are given, to be able to clear the area, to keep away from the scene so that the rescue services can undertake their professional service of rescuing people, and also it is safe. Because sometimes by crowding a very active area, they could be hampering the speed at which a rescue operation can be undertaken or even endangering themselves. But it is very, very important if it's a member of the public who has noted an incident happening, that they are able to initially be able to notify the responsible authorities, like also the Rescue Coordination Center, and there are numbers that are available, toll-free numbers they can call, and even other lines they can use to notify the Rescue Coordination Center or the National Police Service. And secondly, if they are helping, that they are able to help in an organized way at the very beginning, and the professionals, when the professionals arrive, they are able to give way and assist in making sure that the professionals can work in an environment that is okay. Also, the public should avoid interfering with other assets that would be around the scene of an incident. For their own safety first, because some of the aircraft carried a lot of different cargo, some of which could be dangerous to them. So it is important to let the professionals handle some of the aspects after they have done their bit, and also obeying to the instructions and orders that will be given by professionals, be they from the National Police Service, from our disciplined forces, or even from other people who have already been trained in how to handle those situations. Again, anyone else who becomes aware of this, even if they are from various sectors, that this information is notified to the coordinating center, the Nairobi Rescue Coordination Center, of which the contact numbers will be shared on the screen, that this information is going to be notified so that the maximum help can be accorded to that situation. And as the public obeys the instructions they are given by the professionals in an incident area where there is some distress, it's also important that they behave in a responsible way. You don't take creeps of people who are injured and start spreading it on social media. You don't spread rumors or miscommunication. It complicates the whole aspect of the search and rescue. And that communication is led to be provided through the proper channels. For all the people within the system, the communication of an ongoing search and rescue mission is undertaken through the Director General, Kenya Civil Aviation Authority, who is mandated to do that, to give the press briefings and provide proper information of an ongoing mission. And further information on the incident is also released through other agencies like the National Police Service, and then investigations follow up. It is very, very important that people behave in a responsible way and that information is shared from the proper and correct channel. And the correct channel in this case will be the Director General, Kenya Civil Aviation Authority. He will update all the other any person who will be designated by through that channel, but there will be correct, accurate, verified updates through the correct channels. We need also to be sensitive to relatives, to family members when we have such incidences, so that we do the things in a professional and humane way.
So the general public should try as much as possible to avoid interfering with crash sites for the following reasons. One, when a crash site is interfered with, that affects the work of the air crash investigation department, because the evidence or the materials that they will use to try to find out the cause of the accident will have already been interfered with. So that is very important. Then secondly, aircrafts carry some materials which are flammable and some which are dangerous. And because the general public are not experts in handling of aircraft equipment and cargo, they might end up endangering their own lives. So it's very important for the general public to stay away from any crash sites, unless it's a life-saving involvement. Yeah. Apart from that, when the general public, in most recent cases, try to come into an area where there has been a crash, they end up taking photos and some other things which are not good, because most of those photos are normally misused and spread within the various social media platforms, and they normally send a wrong message and interfere with the whole process, because air crash is a high level incident, and the general public and everyone is normally very psyched. So the general public should, as much as possible, try to avoid taking pictures of any crash sites. In the military, we normally say that the success of a rescue is mostly dependent on the willingness of the survivor to survive. So there are some basic things any individual as a survivor of a crash can do to aid in search and rescue. A basic one is lighting a fire, for example, because this fire will help the rescuers to locate the position of the crash and eventually aid in rescuing the individual. So it's very important for the survivors at least to do something to aid in their rescue. Also, the basic first aid skills are very important, and they can be utilized by the survivors to help each other when they survive a crash site. So all these things play in as part of the whole system to help have a successful search and rescue mission.
That's very true. And also, there are various modes of communication, if they are still available. If you have your mobile phone that probably was still on, or you can put it on and make a call to someone, that will help in trying to locate or even notifying that there is an incident that has happened. The aircraft radio, the crew may be capacitated, but the aircraft radio could still be operational. It is also important to, if you are able to make any call, anything humanly possible that can be done and is safe should be done to make sure that this information comes out and that the people, the professionals can start helping or undertaking the rescue mission. Everyone has a role, but and we are very thankful to the people, and probably they know themselves, who have in the recent past made or done a lot of effort, especially from the general public, to notify the responsible authorities of incidents that have happened in various areas. And we have classic examples of responsible reporting and responsible notification, which has helped to ensure that there is a quick response to save those people who probably are victims in an incident. So everyone has a role to play, but the bottom line is the authorities. The state has made every effort by providing resources, by organizing, by investing, by training, to make sure that in the very unlikely event that there is an incident, that there will be help. And it will come quickly, so people should feel very confident that in the very unlikely event, they will be helped should an incident happen. Thank you, viewers, for creating time to join us today for our episode on search and rescue. And we hope you have learned a lot on aeronautical search and rescue. And if you have any questions, please follow us on our social media platform. Mr. Muoki, thank you very much for creating time to join us to enlighten the public on aeronautical search and rescue and the critical, important role of the Kenya Defence Forces in this. And we really appreciate your time and your insights.
Okay, thank you very much for having me, and it's always a pleasure visiting KCAA.
Thank you.
Okay.